And we're back, folks. This is game 2 between Wolfpack and the Companions. Throwback to Myth World Cup 1999. This is the bottom bracket, winnowing round 4. Both these teams playing to avoid elimination and progress in the tournament. Looking for a chance to be Myth World Cup champions. So far in this match, game 1 was on cracks on the cloud spine. Capture the flag. The Companions able to capture Wolfpack's flag. However, Wolfpack able to contest their opponent's flag enough that despite losing their remaining percentage in units, they're able to keep the game rather close. Companions only leading by 10 points at the moment, and the current map is Dark Canyon Captures. There's 11 capture balls on the map. Each one is worth 1 point apiece with the Myth World Cup point system, and having the ball advantage at the end of the game will net your team 5 points. Moving on, let's introduce the teams once again. I believe there has been some changes. Starting in the south, we have Wolfpack. This time captained by Magellan, the team leading damage dealer and game damage dealer for the previous game. And it looks like Dragon's going to be taking a seat. He's joined by Shaka, Monkey-san, R. Isildur, Nighthawk, and Hell. Looks like Trinity going to the bench for Wolfpack. And in the north, the Companions, I don't believe they have any roster changes. They're captained by Gore, once again starting the game with a small amount of units. Joining him is Tor, Code Toad, Gamilton, Gunda, Olympus, and Faded. And the game is gonna start here. Companions opting to split their draw up. Code Toad, Tor, and Olympus each getting 1 apiece, while Wolfpack passes 1 to R. Isildur and 2 to Nighthawk. It's definitely worthy to note, R. Isildur of Wolfpack, probably the most publicly known myther. He unfortunately passed away due to terminal illness of cancer in the early 2000s. But before his passing, Bungie was made aware of his situation, and knowing what a great fan he was of their games and of course Myth, they invited him out to Bungie Studios, and I believe they had quite a bit of a party with him. I believe some of the Bungie.org people also showing up to host an event with him as well shortly before his passing. So definitely rest in peace to Brian Morden. Sad to think that there might be other players who have participated in these tournaments who have also passed away. Meanwhile, in the east, we're gonna have Dragon getting kicked apart here by Olympus. I don't know why he engaged that. Companions, they currently have 5 balls secured, only able to secure the east ball of the mid balls. Wolfpack respectively securing the mid and west of those mid balls. It looks like the boys are in a bit of a lag spree, as Dragon's going to engage Olympus here. He's able to kill a lot of the berserks, but now he's got Olympus's Tro coming into play, and it's absolutely demolished his melee. Monkey-san, his soul is not really zeroing in on the Tro until the later part of that battle. And now this eastern Wolfpack ball is at risk. Meanwhile, our Isildur, he's moving around the western part of the map. Code Toad and Gunda have yet to react to his push. And similar to the last game, Companions leading in percentage, although not quite as large. They do have a 7% lead. However, they're still down a ball, so they will have to get some offensive activity going here. As Olympus looks to scout the Wolfpack's backfield, our Isildur also engaging with Companions' backfield. Wolfpack gathering their balls to this mid area over here. And the majority of the Companions' balls have been moved to this area of the map. However, there's still 2 balls in the northwest, and at the moment, they could be endangered by our Isildur's force. We have a small amount of spiders and souls moving across the impassable here. Hell looking to move up to the north to support our Isildur. And a lot of the Companions are up here to meet up with our Isildur. He's outnumbered now. Only 20% to, let's see, we have Gunda as well as Tor. Combining their percentages, that's 7%, and he's almost doubled here. Looks like Code Toad might actually be moving his Tro up to flank as well, spelling potential disaster for this northwestern force of Wolfpack getting pinched. And in the southeast we have Faded, or in the east rather, we have Faded moving along over here. And we have some myth sounds going on from the soundtrack, not the actual game, so I apologize about that. I do like to keep that on auto shuffle. But yeah, our Isildur taking some hits from the souls here, trying to escape. He's kind of made way here to put himself in a position to escape, but he doesn't want to keep moving along those souls. And he's going to follow Code Toad in the northwest over here. The southern force is not really attacking yet, and Hell's souls need to be dealing the damage here, but they're not even reacting or moving. Unfortunately for Wolfpack, they're now responding to these enemy souls a little bit too late. Had they jumped the gun early, they might not have had issues with that. But our Isildur now going to engage this melee. He might look to run his Tro away and sacrifice his Zergs, and it looks like he will, effectively saving half of his Tro's health. But once again, similar to last game, Wolfpack down big in the early part of the game. We still have 10 minutes remaining, and they are down about 23%, unfortunately. Opening up a position for the Companions to potentially push their home defensive area, which currently I only see 5 balls here. Where is the 6? Nope, there are 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. There we go. So yeah, all the balls for Wolfpack are together. Our Isildur gonna maneuver the canyons. He's gonna get out of there with his Tro, effectively escape the remainder of that trap. Quite a bit of the Companion forces following him here. And Shaka coming in to scout the Companion balls here. Meanwhile, Olympus and Faded down in the south. checking out what Wolfpack has on defense. I suppose we'll have to do the same here. Wolfpack with a pretty large solo spec controlled by Shaka, along with some other solos controlled by Monkey and Magellan. For artillery support, they do have a fetch in control of Dragon. He also controls 2 dwarf heroes, four more dwarf heroes on the northern part of the Wolfpack defense here. Nighthawk has 2 fully health tro, our Isildur a half health tro, and they have only 2 spiders towards their defense. They might actually want to bring this northern spider pack back to the defense for a little more ball security. But at the same time, I know they're rather interested in having the opportunity to steal some of the companions' balls here. So we'll have to see what happens as Companion starts to surround the Wolfpack base with that pretty large percentage advantage, but being down in the game type, which will decide the scoring of the game, is going to force Companions to make a move and assault the Wolfpack forces here. And we're going to switch to the auto camera, see what's going on as Tor moving around the southwest part of the map is slow. Maul's late to catch up to the rest of his forces, and Dragon coming to say hello to those companion forces mid if they get close enough. But it looks like they will maintain their distance safely. Definitely want to wait until your whole team is in position to push before you engage. If you engage one at a time, it just makes it a little bit too easy for your opponents to defend themselves. And the spider pack for Wolfpack, controlled by Shaka, is somewhat pressuring the Companions' defense here. They're gonna back off now, it looks like. But they do have enough spiders to win a spider battle. However, I imagine those souls will be able to take some of those spiders out on their approach, as long as they're not caught off guard. We will just have to see here. Wolfpack have gathered all of their balls together, which is rather dangerous, as it's easier for the opponents to effectively collect them all at the same time. However, it's also a bit easier to defend, and in a position when you're down quite a large percent. You don't want to split your forces up anymore, so Wolfpack doing what they can to hold on to their lead in game 2 here. Match-wise, however, if they did win the game at this point, they would go into game 3, still down 4 points, unfortunately. So we'll just have to see how this plays out. The extended camera gives you a nice full look of the battlefield. And 4 minutes to go here. We got Olympus clearing out some enemy satchels, while Hell of Wolfpack continues to set them. Myth is a game of patience, folks, and you'll see it here. So we'll switch to the auto camera and enjoy for a little bit. Though we do have a dwarf fight that I just quickly clicked away, and we got an advance from Monkey-san. Olympus gonna get a hit on Monkey-san's dwarf. And ooh, we have an advance by Faded, rather, I apologize. And he is pressuring the area. Olympus Dwarf gonna take some hits there from the enemy souls. And not much action, folks, but with 2 minutes remaining you can expect to see some soon, as Companions front line over here looks like it might be getting ready to push the front line of Wolfpack. Meanwhile, the backside of Wolfpack's forces are being threatened. We'll have to see how they respond, as Nighthawk takes quite a bit of units for his team. He might even want to split those up and pass them along to better defend this assault. As we saw last game, Companions is pretty damn good at assaulting and being aggressive, especially with their captain Gore present. Gore not taking that much percent for the majority of this game. Again, what I have seen here kind of goes against what I have heard about the man, who apparently took quite a bit of units back in the day on multiple occasions, but we won't see it here. Putting the efforts of the companion teammates in full control of the game, as Gore signals now we have a push, and Companion Shro gonna clean up that artillery pretty quick, and these souls are going down. Meanwhile, on the front line, some of the Companion Zergs have broken through, but a lot of spiders going down for the Companions as they try to clean up the rest of these spiders and soulless. The backside effectively has been penetrated by the Companions. Torstro is gonna get stoned, but he will continue moving his Zergs, and that's gonna be it. In a matter of seconds, you see a lot of action going on. It's almost like these guys got blue-balled on the action after only being able to watch that early pinch. But let's go through the statistics here. So Companions gonna win it, 11 targets. That's a point apiece. Plus the 5 for the win will give them 16 here. Wolfpack unable to net any points. Companions are gonna get an extra 30 kills on their losses. That's 72-42, and Wolfpack pretty much has the opposite ratios here, 41-75 overall. Companions almost doing an extra 200 damage in comparison to their opponents. Breaking down the individual statistics of the players, we have Gore 4 and 5, 10 damage, Olympus 17 and 8, 173 damage, and Tor 15 and 2, 157 damage. Followed up with Code Toad 11 and 119 damage, Gunda 10 and 10, 68 damage, Faded 10 and 6, 53 damage, and Gamilton 5 and 0, 3 damage. A nice collective effort from the Companions here. 5 of their 7 players netting over 7 kills on this map, albeit this map does have quite a number of units on it. But job well done by them. And moving on to Wolfpack. Unfortunately for them, I believe they are eliminated from the tournament at this point. They were down 10 points in the first game. Losing another 16 points here is going to give a 26-point buffer. I don't believe they have any chance of coming back from in the Allies' Untamed flag rally game coming up for Game 3. So it's unfortunate for them, but it is what it is. Job well done by these players for competing and giving it their all. Let's go through their statistics here. Magellan captaining the team for Wolfpack, he's going to go 0-5 with 4 damage. Dragon leading the game and his team in damage, 15-17 with 218 damage. Despite the fact that Magellan and Dragon didn't get as much units as Nighthawk in games 1 and 2, they both proved to be pretty solid players here, as when Dragon was captaining, Magellan led the team in ratios and statistics and damage. Whereas when that role switched, now you see Dragon is filling in those shoes right there. But moving on here. Nighthawk 9-15 with 50 damage, controlling the melee for his team again. Effectively not enough artillery support for his units to be able to win those berserk fights, but able to keep most of the frontline troops of Wolfpack defended. Fortunately, the targets for that game are not located at the artillery but on this hill, and his units, which could only go on passable land, are pretty much ineffective here. Moving on, we have Hell, 8 kills, 10 losses, 48 damage. R. Isildur, 6-15 with 48 damage. Monkey-san, 3-7, 32 damage. And Shaka, 0-6. I don't think he scored a kill or damage point across the first 2 games, unfortunately. That's tough, guys. And looking at the graphs here, see Companions get off to the early kill and damage lead, and from there the game is just completely in their ballpark. We have some deja vu from the last game. You see right here is when our Isildur started to get pinched, and that battle takes place, and he's just not able to save any of his berserks. All those kills go into the Companions right there, and this large buffer allows the Companions to effectively control the maps around their opponents and execute an assault on the Wolfpack defense. Damage looks like it was a lot closer than the kills, but at the end of the day, it's just not enough, folks. And that's it for Game 2. One last shout out once again to Brian Morden, our Isildur of Wolfpack. If you're interested in any of his backstory, I will be posting some links to reference his obituary page and other fan pages created for him. You know, happy to cover his game as well as everyone else's here, and happy to see he was a Myth World Cup 99 participant, although looks like Wolfpack's ride will come short here in Myth World Cup 1999. They will stick around for one more game against the Companions, a Game 3 on the mesh, the Untamed lands, a 4-star mesh, so the teams will be playing with alliances on in 2 teams versus 2 teams combat. You don't want to miss that one, folks, and I believe Wolfpack isn't all done here. They continued participating in Myth World Cups for at least 3 to 4 more years here, effectively joining and creating new teams later on after that. You should check these guys in Myth World Cup 2000, as they will be there. And that's gonna wrap up game 2. This is par 73. Companions leading the match 26 points. GG, folks.
Ball captured. Game over.